Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the Poing stroke, also known as the Pong stroke or the Pound stroke, and it is potentially quite similar to the modern ping shot, but potentially not similar at all. And so how do we know? Well, the answer is we don't really, but we're going to go through some of the evidence for maybe why it is or is not like a ping shot. So if you're not familiar with the ping shot, in the marching arts today we have three types of rim shots. We have the gok shot, which is center of the drum and the rim at the same time. We have the rim shot, which is very similar to what drum set players would play today, which is slightly off center and the rim at the same time. And then there's the ping shot, which is way off center, very near the edge of the head, and hitting the rim at the same time. And you get a very overtone laden pingy sound, kind of like this. I can't really do one because kids are sleeping in my house right now, but you can tell, like, when you play near the edge of any snare drum, you get a pingy, ringing, overtone-filled sound, and if you combine that with a rim shot, it really projects. So that's a ping shot. The Poing stroke maybe was a ping shot, maybe wasn't. We're going to talk about it. So most of what I'm going to talk about today comes from the website of Robin Engelman. So if you go to robinengelman.com, you can see a whole discussion of this. However, it's not entirely based on his work. I've looked into it myself a little bit, and I'm still as confused as he was. The deal with this Pong stroke or this Poing stroke is that it's listed in a bunch of manuals, and it gives pretty detailed descriptions in just a few of them, and these descriptions seem to not line up exactly. They contradict one another, kind of. So we can look at it a few different ways. Some of them say that you're going to play a flam, where you're going to do basically a double ping shot. Some of them say it's just a really hard accent with no description of where on the drum. And others say that you're going to hit the drum near the rim, but they don't say anything about touching the rim. So that seems like three different things. Double rim shots, a single near the rim but not a rim shot stroke, and a potentially just a single really hard accent. And maybe there's some combination thereof that you could find out there. Some manuals, of course, don't list any description whatsoever. They just say, do a Poing stroke, like you're going to know what it is. So basically, again, we're looking for a sound like this, where you get a lot of those overtones. And whether that involves a rim shot or not is unclear. For example, David Hazeltine in 1810 says you give a light flam and strike each stick nigh to the hoop of the drum, lightly touching the hoop at the same time. So that really sounds like a double ping shot. But Ashworth in 1812 says that it's just a Poing stroke hard as opposed to a soft stroke. So you're just hitting harder. Maybe he assumes you know what a Poing stroke is, but it doesn't say anything about the surface of the drum or anything about whether it touches the rim. We don't know. There's other ones like Levi Lovering in 1818 says strike the head about 3 inches from the lower side with a smart sliding stroke. I don't know what a sliding stroke is, but he's saying you play near the edge, but he doesn't say anything specifically, explicitly about touching the hoop. Right? So that's why I think there's maybe up to 3 interpretations of what this is. Of course, if you add in the modern idea of a ping shot, there's 4 interpretations, because of course a ping shot isn't always in a flam. It's just with one hand. For debate. Well, one thing we can say is that drummers tend to think similar things. Drummers now, drummers then, we're all drummers here. So if you think about the sound that you get when you hit the rim or near the rim on the snare drum, that overtone type of sound, of course we're going to call it ping, pong, or poing, right? Or pound. This all makes sense, like the description. But whether we do a rim shot with it or not, that's what's up for debate. I don't think that really, like even Ashworth, who doesn't describe it at all, is saying that you're going to hit dead center on the drum, because you're not going to get a pingy sound, right? And all drummers of any era are going to know that. But whether it's a rim shot, really unclear. So I sort of defer to the fact that some of the manuals do say you're going to touch the hoop, though, because they are really clear about it, that you're touching the hoop at the same time. The ones that don't say to touch the hoop, maybe they just assume that you know, right? So I think, personally, and this is just me, this isn't a definite historical fact, I think that a Poing, Pound, or Pong stroke involves either 1 or 2 rim shots. It's the same as a ping shot. And again, because drummers are drummers, we all think the same way. We have the same proclivities and tendencies. If we can play a rim shot to make it louder, most of us will. And so if we're trying to get a really pingy loud sound, we're going to play a ping shot or a poing stroke kind of in the same manner. But that's just me. So if you have ever heard of a poing stroke before, let me know in the comments what you think it is. But that's the weird story of the poing stroke, and maybe it's the same as the ping shot. I don't know. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you next time.